Welcome to Out and Down, or some people may think of it Down and Out. I'm your host Sarah, and happy holidays, guys. Happy fucking holidays. More like holidays, am I right, with a Z? Let's talk about the holidays. Is everyone super hyped? Is everyone super psyched? Got your holiday shopping done? I miss being a kid and not really having to get people stuff and like spending maybe $20 on like gift cards for people. And now like I'm an adult and there's like 3 different Secret Santa things or like White Elephant, and it's always like $50. So then like at the end of the season, like buying stuff for your friends and like your loved ones comes out to like fucking $300, dude. $300, dude. And I wish I had some sort of like special talent where I can just like draw stuff for people or like crochet or like knit. That would be so nice because I could just like do a hobby and make people stuff at the same time, but I don't have that. All I have is my plants, and I don't have that many plants to be like, this is your one gift, you know what I mean? I just wish I had a little some spice stuff up, but no, I'm getting in the age where I am just giving people gift cards, you know? And I just kind of miss those days. You would like sit down and write a list, and I'd always put like Hot Topic gift card or like maybe Claire's, you know, when you're like a middle schooler and you want to be cool and you're like, I'm just going to put this little stuff. One time I went to a stepfamily one and I put hamster plus cage on mine because my parents were anti-pets besides like their 2 dogs. I couldn't get like a goldfish, I couldn't get a hamster, I couldn't get anything. So I was just branching out like, please give me a hamster. And they showed my parents it and we're like, can we do this? And they were like, no. Just like, please let me have something. Let me have a goldfish. But that just wasn't a possibility in my family. I'd like to dedicate this episode to my family pet that had passed recently. Her name was Bailey. She was 14 years old. She was a cutie patootie. She was a pug mixed with a bulldog. So like the most unhealthy dog you can think of in your head right now. That's the dog. She was the dog. We called her the Beast. She was such a cutie. But we got her in like 2009, which is the year I graduated elementary school. And she was a good girl. She like beat cancer twice. You know, she was a real fighter. But back to the holiday stuff. So I've noticed since being an adult that every store in the United States is like some sort of discount store. Like, you go into TJ Maxx, and it's, like, designer brands, but they're on sale. And I've also noticed that their clothes do not hit anymore. They do not hit. Because, like, I'm 25, so, like, am I supposed to be shopping in, like, the young adult section? Or am I supposed to be shopping in, like, the women's business type clothes? Because I work from home, and besides that, I work at retail. Why would I need office clothes? What do I need that for? But I also don't need party clothes. Because you know what, guys? I'm on day 44 of not drinking. And I'm looking at part of my wardrobe like, who bought this? I'm still going to wear it because my clothes are absolute schley. But like, who am I trying to impress? Like, I'm... Like, 25 is not old. Okay. 30s is not old. But it's like, where am I going to wear this stuff? Am I going to wear this to my family's gatherings and be like, hey, guys... Check out my belly button. You can see through my crop top. Oh, you like these pants that make me booty stick out? You like that? I don't know what kind of accent I'm trying to do. I'm so sorry. But it's like, where am I going to wear this stuff? And I have to go to sleep now at like 8 p.m. Full or old person stuff. I kind of just wish every store wasn't some sort of discount, you know? And I think that's why a lot of people like have started getting clothes like from Target a lot of the time. And I've noticed that I own like so much Target stuff because I've been donating some stuff and I usually thrift my clothes. But Target run clothes like hit different. Like you're there to like a certain thing up, like, oh, I need to get a charger for my phone, but I guess I'll also spend like $80 on clothes while I'm here because they're like cute clothes that are made ethically, you know? God, their clothes go hard. Ugh. Oh my god, Target. Hi guys, let's get some Starbucks and go to Target. I'm gonna like walk around and get our steps on. That's me, unironically. Unironically, for real, slur. But if you're friends with me and I don't know what to get you, I'm getting you a gift card. Just so you know. Also, I'm a little bit sick. Not like sick, but I'm like sick. I've got like a little head cold thing going on, so I apologize if I sound different, you know? Like, I don't always sound this cool and raspy. Like, this is a rare occurrence of not really being able to talk very well. So I hope you enjoy it. Oh man. Is anyone else getting hit with that 10, 12 hours of sleep a night? Because I'm fucking with it hard. I'm rolling with it heavy. It makes me feel real lucky I don't have any children. Imagine getting woken up every day at 6 a.m. by like a kid or like a baby crying, and then having to like take care of this human before you take care of yourself. And anyone who says that having a dog is like having a baby, they're like kind of right. But like, I can take my baby out for a walk, feed her, and then go back to sleep. And like, dudes, I can go out for like a nice dinner without having to call a babysitter. So like, who's really raising a baby? Not me. And it kind of makes me uncomfortable when people refer themselves as like mama, even when they have like a dog or a cat. Like, this is my fur baby. Like, I gave birth to this pet. Like, can you see the resemblance? And it's like, no, you got that dog. You is buying dogs like low-key trafficking. You're like taking an animal's baby and then they never see their mom ever again. It's weird to think about dogs, you know, like we take these things for walks, they like exist, and we let these weird animals like sleep in our beds, and we give them little scraps if they're being nice. You know, it's kind of a weird concept to think about, but it's been obviously thousands of years in the making. Whereas like cats, we've like train them to be like indoor animals, but they're still like not fucking with us heavy like dogs do. Your dog will be by your side constantly. Your cat will say hello maybe once and then stretch out and fuck off. They'll be like, wow, and then after you feed them, they're like, all right, bye, I have plans. And their plans are always to hang out in a separate room by themselves and sleep. So how's cuffing season going for everybody? Is that going well? You remember that really good SZA song that came out on SNL like last year or the year before? It was like, it's cuffing season, all the we need a big boy, need a big boy, I need a big boy. You know what I'm talking about? Because you need that big boy for the winter. I have noticed within my friend group that my friends have been going for like more emo skinny white boys lately, and I'm like, yo, that was my OG type when I was 16. Skinny white boys. And now my friends are dating skinny white boys. I think it might be a fad, because I feel like a few years ago dad bods was a thing. You'd be like, oh, like I love his dad bod, like he's so hot. And now it's back to skinny white boy era. Shout out to them, I guess. Just kidding. They don't have any issues getting shout outs because, you know, Kim K got with Pete Davidson. So fucking Megan Fox got MGK. Why are they together? What do they talk about? What do they have in common? Is she really the emo girl? I don't really see it. You know, like she was in Jennifer's Body. Does that make her emo? All right. So I'm going to go ahead, since it's still December, to go ahead and give a ranking of the best Christmas movies. First up, we got the Santa Claus. If you're not familiar, the Santa Claus, he kills Santa and then becomes Santa. And it's about this like divorced dad, blah, blah, blah. And his ex-wife rightfully wants to take custody because what the hell is this guy doing? You know what I mean? It was a good movie when I was a kid. I rewatched recently. I'll give it a C+. The Polar Express. So even though the character is a little bit creepy, I really like this one. I'm gonna give it a B+, especially since Tom Hanks is a voice actor in this, and Tom Hanks is a national treasure. So I'll give it a B+. Okay. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the original claymation from 1970. I watched this one recently, and I gotta say, it's not bad. Like, it's stop motion, so it took a long time to make. And you know what? It's got some bangers, so I'm gonna give this one a B-. I recently rewatched Love Actually with some gals last night. Pretty good. However, one of the love stories is that this guy's in love with his best friend's wife. And just for that, I'm gonna give it an A-. Alright, and then I watched Christmas in Connecticut from 1945. It holds up pretty well, especially for a 1945 movie. So this woman is trying to become like a big magazine writer, and so she pretends to be a farm wife, and she falls in love with a war hero, and it's honestly pretty good. Really good performances. Film quality is good. I'll give this one a solid A. And then Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, 1964. Definitely a classic. However, why the hell are some of these characters so scary to look at? Like, especially, let's see, the Island of Misfit Toys. Why are they kind of scary? Like, that kind of scared me as a kid, kind of scares me as an adult. I'm gonna give it a C+. Home Alone, classic. Kid gets left at home. Easily put Macaulay Culkin on the map. I'm gonna give it an A+. Like, this is one of those movies that's like enjoyable. It's funny. They did their own stunts. Great movie. A+. Charlie Brown Christmas is next. So what I've noticed about this one is that Charlie Brown is super depressed and his friends do not give a fuck about him. I kind of feel bad for Charlie Brown. Even like his dog Snoopy clowns on him during the whole movie. But like, I fall asleep to this soundtrack sometimes even when it's not Christmas season. I'm gonna give it an A-. So then there's Elf. I'm a hater of Elf, and I don't think I'll ever change that. I think it's one of those movies they showed us too much in middle school, in like elementary school, even high school, and they showed this like all the time. And like, I like Will Ferrell in like a handful of things, but definitely not this one. I'm gonna give this a D. And then one of my personal favorites is A Christmas Story from 1983, which is viewed from the eyes of children. But it's based in, I believe, the 50s, and there's like a really popular scene that I quote with my mom sometimes, and it's like, "You'll shoot your eye out." And it's just a classic. I'll give it an A+. And then the live-action Grinch movie, also a classic with Jim Carrey. Kind of scary, aged a little bit weird, but I'd give it an A-. So those are my rankings. Obviously, I didn't go through a whole list, but, you know, the thought was there. And honestly, why aren't they making that many good Christmas movies lately? Like, I respect Hallmark for making the same movie, like, every year about this woman who works a lot and then she falls in love with like this little farmer guy who wants to keep her in her hometown or something. She quits her job for this random man. It's the same story every time, but like, good for them. You know, they know their audience, they know how to make bank, so they're gonna get that bag. Do you ever notice how much lingo has changed over time? Like, if I heard myself talking now as, like, a middle schooler, I don't know what I would do. I really don't know. Because, like, I'm an adult now, but, like, do you think kid version of you would like you now? Like, if you met yourself, like, let's say I'm 25, if 15-year-old met me, I don't know if she would like me or not. But she might. But I'm just so different. Like, I didn't think I would make it this long. For some reason, as a kid, I'd be like, well, some weird accident's gonna happen, and it never did. And I'm pretty glad, obviously, that I've lived this long, but it's just something that's so weird. I probably like, why do you have so many weird tattoos? Like, why didn't you get those like Pinterest leg tats of like traditional sleeves? And I'd be like, that's just expensive, and like I've just gotten stuff from my own eras and whatnot. Welcome to Out and Down, or some people may think of it, Down and Out. I'm your host, Sarah, and welcome to the new year. So let's go ahead and talk about New Year's resolutions. Do you guys actually participate in that? Because, like, guys, I actually made like a 10-point list of things I want to do. Alright, so my New Year's goals. Number 1, quit nicotine. I don't know if you guys remember last episode, a couple episodes before. I was like, if you make that shit fruity, I'm gonna hit it. And I really need to quit, because like, I just feel so sluggish and tired when I smoke nicotine, but like, that free like dopamine like really goes a long way, you know? Even though after you like hit a vape, your stomach's like, stop! Your lungs are like, stop! Your head's like, stop! And the dopamine just so good. My second one is quit alcohol. So I'm 55 days sober from alcohol and obviously everything else. So I'm literally just drinking caffeine at the moment. And guys, 55 days has flown by. Like the first month you have like these crazy dreams where you're just like getting wasted and stuff. Like I didn't feel like I drank that much. Like I drank a couple times a week, but to have those dreams where you're just like like lack of a better word, like fucked up wasted, you know? And it's just like, I remember craving the taste of beer so much and being like, yo, like I need something. And then I also had a New Year's Eve party last night, and God, I was so tempted. Everyone was sloshed, and I'm just sitting there like, yay, like I drank a Red Bull earlier. Like I'm having a blast. And I'm sorry if I sound stuffed up. My nose has just been running consistently for the past 3 weeks. So it's just gonna sound like that for real. So I'm sorry about that. Number 3 on my list, get fit. I put this on my list every year, and I probably go to the gym consistently for like 2 or 3 months, and then I forget that I want to do it. I just need to switch gyms, I think. Like, you know how often I go to the gym? If my gym had like a sauna or a pool, I'd be there like literally every day. Like that sounds so nice to just like sit in a sauna and be like, ah. And then after 10 minutes you're like, I'm gonna fucking pass out. I need to get out of here. Yeah. So yeah, get fit. I would love to like have abs, but like, you know how long it takes to get abs? Like I remember being a kid and seeing those like workout advertisements and being like super set on getting like abs at like literally 8 years old. And I was like, I'm gonna be so fit one day. I'm gonna get all this exercise equipment, keep it in my side room of my house, because I thought I'd own a house. But no, I'm 25 in an apartment, you know? Shout out the fucking economy, guys. Wow. I'm not gonna get into the economy. My 4th one is make new friends. I feel like it's just important to make a couple new ones every year, you know? Man, there's nothing nicer than meeting somebody like randomly at work or something and like having them like be like, oh my god, like it's so nice hanging out with you, it's so nice to see you. Like it just feels so good. And it's like I cut off my best friend of 14 years and it just ended up turning, and I'm not gonna go way into it, I'm just gonna stay surface level. It was just on the brink of being like emotionally, verbally abusive towards me on a consistent basis, and I talked to my family about it and they're like, oh, she's been talking to you like that for years. Like I'm surprised it took you this long to stop being friends with her. And like my grandma has also said the same thing, and my friends have noticed it too. And I was like literally in the dark about this. Like I remember her talking about, oh, we're so mean to each other, and then
she would come at me, so I'd come back, you know. Anyway, it's over. And honestly, guys, if you have a bad relationship with somebody, end it. Like, there's no reason for you to feel those lows and, like, uncomfortable around somebody. It's not worth it. Like, I feel the best I've felt in years, like, since I stopped drinking and stopped being friends with this person. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. Really gives you, like, a clear head. Like, at first I kind of missed the conflict because my days were going by so fast and so easy. And then after that I realized, like, oh, like, I'm just used to somebody, like, ragging on me, like, all the time. And you get too comfortable with them ragging on you and you're like, this is a normal friendship. But it wasn't. So, moving on. My next one is roller skate. Was anyone else, like, a roller skate kid? Like, I miss going to the roller rink and just going ham for, like, a few hours and then coming home and, like, having the best sleep of my life. Like, I used to be so good at it. I couldn't go backwards, but I could definitely go forward. And it was just such a blast. Why isn't there stuff like that for, like, adults? Like, I know there's ice skating, like, downtown and Fountain Square, but there needs to be more, like, roller rinks. Like, I'm tired of all these axe throwing places and, like, escape rooms. Like, they both sound fun, but, like, I need something that, with, like, great music where I can kind of zone out and get, like, a workout in at the same time. And I don't want anyone saying, oh, that's the gym. Roller skating is, like, a whole different thing. Like, you get the thrill of going fast and, oh, it's so nice. And then the feeling you get when you put your regular shoes on and you still feel like you're skating, but you're not. It's so nice. I love roller skating. Love it. My next one is skateboard. I learned how to skate when I was 16 because I was really into this one guy. And I could never get it really off the ground. Like, I could do, like, not much. I could make it roll, but I was too scared to go down hills and everything, and just scared of the aspect of people being like, you don't know how to skate well. But I don't think anyone really knows how to skate well unless you do it every day. And I think that's the same with, like, any hobby. I don't know. I just need to be that dorky adult that has, like, knee pads and elbow pads with, like, a helmet on. Because I'm the most clumsy person. Every day I'm at work, I drop something on the floor. Every single day. Like boxes falling off, like, the U-boats and stuff. Like, every single day. And anytime I do it, it's around my boss. And I'm like, how come every time it's always that time where my boss is around? And I'm like, shoot. The next one I have is play cello. So if you don't know, which most people don't, because how would you know? I used to play cello in school, so I played from 6th grade until senior year. And it took up a big aspect of my life. Like, I could not have a job when I was in high school because I had a bunch of orchestra concerts, and if you missed one, you'd get, like, a C. So imagine, like, missing all of them. And most of the time, they were on Fridays, and that's when jobs want you the most, is on Fridays. So it just didn't work out. And I think it's for the best, because I was heavily mentally ill in high school, so working was best. Because I tried working at Taco Bell, and I got my wisdom teeth out, and I came back and didn't remember anything. And then they were like, how come you don't know how to do this? And I'm like, I literally had, like, 3 shifts. How am I supposed to know how to do this? Like, I don't know. The other one, I worked at a call center for a local pizza place, and it wasn't a bad job. It was just, like, I was so awkward and shy that it was uncomfortable to be at work, which is the opposite of how you want to feel at work. So I literally left a voicemail and was like, hi, this is Sarah Miller. I'm not coming in. I quit. It's literally how the voicemail was, but at least I called and was like, hey. But it's kind of annoying that nobody answered, you know? Like, where's the thrill of quitting a job if no one's like, okay. Like, I got asked to stay at my seasonal job, and they were like, so, are you interested in staying? And I was like, not really. I was like, if you guys need me for, like, later in the month, that's fine. I'm a freelancer, but, like, no, I do not want to be here anymore. I don't like waking up at 3 a.m. and having to go to sleep at, like, 7. Because, like, on the weekends, I want to spend time with my friends, and I work through the whole weekend, and then during the week, they want to go to bed early, and it's like, just never matches up right. You know what I mean? Like, it's so hard trying to make plans as an adult where things are all, like, want to hang out Tuesday? Yeah. It's like, no, I can hang out in, like, 3 Tuesdays from now. That's really how things are. You have to, like, schedule stuff. Like, I have one friend from high school, and we literally have to pick out a calendar date and be like, okay, we're getting food at this time, we're hanging out this time, and that's it. And it's just so funny to have a calendar and be like, okay, let me go ahead and mark you in my schedule. Jesus Christ. But my next one is paint. So I used to paint a lot when I smoked reefer when I was like 18. I wasn't ever really good at it, but it's something that's like fun and like a form of like therapy. Like art therapy is so beneficial, especially for like older people or like people that struggle with like a mental disability. It really helps them. And I feel like it's just so relaxing to like sit down and be like, it's so relaxing to sit down and be like, I made this with my hands. And it's just such a good way to spend time because you're like really able to insert yourself completely. My next one is read a new book each month, which I've kind of been doing. And I really need to keep up with it because I've been reading a bunch of science fiction books. Like in November, I was reading one about like science and sex. It was pretty good. Like, it was called Bonked, if you ever want to read it. Like, it was such a good book. And then my last one is travel somewhere new. There's nothing nicer than going to like a new city or like a new location and really looking around. And every time I do travel somewhere, I'm like, I could live here. But Lord knows I'm not leaving my hometown. I like it too much. Cincinnati's great. Like, I could never imagine myself living anywhere else. And it's just so nice to go somewhere and be like, oh, like, this is foreign to me. Like, I've never been here. Like, let me go out and explore. It's just such a good feeling. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. I'm out, and I hope that you're not down. Goodbye.